So I'm going to show you how I flipped this free Facebook Market find into an $800 rolling kitchen island thing. I don't really know what to call it, but it turned out great, so let's get into it. So this was originally a piece of furniture for a hotel room, and so it had the height of like a counter, but we wanted to use it as like kitchen storage and cutting and cooking, so we cut about 3 to 4 inches off of the bottom and then added in wheels. And wheels were an absolute necessity for this project because the piece was like 140 pounds and moving it in and out of my van was insane. So not looking forward to moving that around my place without wheels. The next piece of refurnishing this was sanding it, and this took me probably 2 hours, and I found my sander at Habitat for Humanity. I got it for $10. I love Habitat for Humanity. If you can find one in your area for any refurnishing projects, I suggest you do that. It's super affordable. After sanding it, I started to chip off the old paint on it using a knife. I spent the following day creating this wood putty mixture to fill in all of these big chunks that were taken out over the years that it was at the hotel just through accidents, but they were really deep, just like chunks of wood. Not something you can really paint over and keep it pretty. But I also did a wood stain on the top, which I didn't record because I didn't have my phone on me, but it's this really beautiful deep brown. I saved this one last chunky piece to show you the mixture. You don't really need to see me staining it, but so I took sawdust collected from cutting the legs off and then mixed in the wood glue until I got a consistency that I liked. And then I just mixed it up and filled in the holes. The thing about this stuff though is when it dries, it can dry really, the feeling that the texture that it creates on top is really brash and not fun to touch. So you let it dry for like 2 days and then you come back to sand it. After I have it filled in, I'm just smoothing out all the pieces around it. This is officially day 5 of working on this, and now I'm doing all of the spot sanding to help clean up all of the rough woody patches that I fixed. And more spot sanding. Now I'm just taking care of that spot where I chipped the old paint off with a knife. So most of what I got to do this refurnishing project came from either Facebook Marketplace or Habitat for Humanity, and because of that, you never know the quality of things that you're gonna get. So this paint came from a Facebook Marketplace find, and it was basically almost dried. It was like putty. So I scooped it out with a knife and then just decided that I would dilute it with a little bit of water while I painted to stretch it. And it didn't really affect the opaqueness like you think it would. I didn't have to do multiple coats really, just had to be mindful about how much water I used with each stroke. last thing that I have to do is just put everything back and get the hardware back on. These little brass handles are super cute, and the whole thing has this like medieval like tavern community hearth feeling to it, which is why I was drawn to it. I saw the vision. And then to make it more like kitchen space, utility friendly, I put in these hooks at the top for hanging pans in, and then below that is some storage, but it turned out so freaking great. So here's the before and here's the after.